And I typically like to say the same thing every time I am waiting to go live. And it's a quick story. And maybe every night I change it a little bit. Not because I tell you a different story, but, telling the same story without the script every night, uh, you will change it unless you learn it like lines for a movie. But anyway, but I like to wait about a minute because some other live podcast blogs, they do wait half an hour, 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. Just because people, when they get their notification, sometimes they're driving and they need to be safe so they can watch the show. So now I'm going to go live in, because I typically like to wait about a minute, and I'm going to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What is going on? My name is Ben, and welcome to another episode of my daily vlog where I try to inspire you to achieve your goals and therefore your dreams. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Today it's been a beautiful day here in New London, New Hampshire, and I just came back from playing soccer outdoors, and it was beautiful. A little heavy, a little humid, but it was a nice day. So here I am, and I'm going to read you a segment from chapter 11 of Masterplan in Your Success. This is the book I wrote for my kids, especially, and for my wife, my friends, my family, and of course, for you. It took me a couple years before I started to write this book, a couple years before my daughter was born, because I actually dedicated this book to my first daughter. Now I have two, Brianna and Hazel, but this was dedicated for Brianna, and I hope to dedicate the next book to Hazel, which is my second girl. And the segment I have for you tonight is from chapter 11, and the segment reads, Lessons You Don't Need. Don't be a free beta tester for big companies. Yes, I'm all about learning from mistakes, but ideally not your own. Big companies are unable to pay millions of testers for their products, and often they release first-generation products and devices to the masses without fully and thoroughly testing them. They use their paying customers as beta testers and then release firmware and software or hardware updates within the next year or two. Those are lessons you do not need to learn, and the remedy in those cases is simply to wait. Let those experiences flood the market, and after a year or two, join the experience yourself. So, yeah, it's sad, but that's the way the market works. I understand it, but sometimes we get this rush of getting the new iPhone the very next day that they come out. Some people, they like to wait outside the Apple store, get their phones, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't recommend you to do that. If the iPhone is your thing and you want to be there, sure, whatever. You have to do whatever you want to do, of course. But what I'm saying is, typically, especially with technology, you want to wait a year or so, or two, maybe. It depends on the product. 2 years sometimes is too much, but 6 months to a year, most electronic products, you always want to wait after they come out, because again, especially phones and iPads and devices like that, the Samsung products, any company, not specifically Apple or Samsung, but they that's what I believe they do. And I don't know if you know, but I worked in IT for over 20 something years, and I've seen this over and over and over and over again. And if you're familiar with Windows, for example, with Microsoft have done this with many versions of Windows. From Windows, I will say Windows Me was one of the Windows with the most problems at first. Then it was Windows Vista, and Windows 8 was a huge problem. I don't know if you remember, if you're into Windows, but anyway, that was part of my job. and they use, their customers to be beta testers. They don't call them beta testers, but that's what we end up doing. So that's my advice to you. And I have a quote for you tonight, and the quote is from the back of Masterplan Your Success, where I have 236 personal quotes I wrote over the years. And typically sometimes I read you a quote from this collection of quotes. Sometimes I read you quotes from other people. But tonight I have one from my personal collection, and the one I have for you tonight reads, "Forgiveness is a virtue society pressures us to practice." Okay, so let me know what you think in the comments below. And that's all that I got for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like. Your likes really do help my channel, and they make me so happy. So I really do appreciate each one of them. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And if you want notifications, hit that bell and you will be getting notification every time I go live or every time I upload a new video. And very important, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them as soon as possible, typically the very next day, unless I need to research my answer, in which case I will take a little bit longer time to reply. But I promise you, I will reply to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow night, and I wish you an excellent night. Good night.